Sunday Night Football. But for one particular day, Chris Dietz and Victor Locke will sit in my place. Why, you ask? Potential tie again.
Potential tie incoming.
We'll tell you all about it when I say, on your mark, get set, let's go.
We can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning! Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
I don't know. Yeah! Oh boy. This is going to be a good one. Good morning and welcome one and all to Fabulous Fantastic Football Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have you all with us. This first hour is powered by Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. Oh boy. The NFL schedule has been released.
Yes, it has.
And once again, the Dallas Cowboys, yes, those Dallas Cowboys, those damn Cowboys, have 11 primetime games this year.
11.
Not 9, not 10, 11. But as I teased at the top of the show, I wanted these guys to cover their opening game against the New York Giants in the Meadowlands, but Deets is going to be on location, sending us some drunk video.
Maybe, but it's still up. It's still up in the air. We're not going to put that out there. But I am definitely trying my best to be in that stadium for that game.
But the one game, and we're going to start here before we look at everybody's schedules. The one game that Dietz and Victor will do is October 17th from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Why, you ask? It's round 2 of the Cowboys and the Packers.
Tie part 2.
Now, if y'all remember what happened the last time these two were on the air, and I sat back in the producer's chair, there were some moments that happened, particularly on Dietz's side.
Yep.
The first one I can't give you because I haven't had a chance to cut it. Well, actually, you know what? I can do it this way. I haven't edited the video portion of that yet. I will get to it. But Dietz said something that is let me put it this way.
Iconic.
To quote Dietz, it pissed him the hell off.
When you hear someone who
and on the air,
the doggone field, it's not hard. Of course,
loud,
Uber fools,
loud.
You're talking about the same guy who couldn't call a timeout on Thanksgiving.
Here's the soundbite that is now in Snowman in the Morning lore.
Put somebody in the middle of the field. Like, it's not hard.
Like I said, we're talking about Matt Uberfools, who apparently
the extra emphasis on that statement is not only did I say it live on the air, not only did I say it live on multiple outlets.
Mm-hmm.
I said it live in the middle of the gosh darn street.
right.
Yeah.
On a sidewalk with people walking around with a full bar watching me outside the window, and everybody turned around and was like, what the hell just happened?
It's not
Let's go to the
hard.
Fanatics feedback zone very quickly. Chiaki is the first one to break the seal. Battle of the Bay this weekend in Sacramento, says Napoleon Jeanamai. Who you got, A's or Giants? I don't know. And then Genevieve Yoso is with us. There's a chance she may appear a little bit later. But
the battle of what? The battle of what?
Battle of the Bay.
Vegas ain't in the Bay. Vegas ain't in no Bay. They're not in the Bay. That ain't the battle of nothing. It ain't the battle for nothing anymore.
oh, goodness. So it's Dallas and Green Bay, round 2. These two are going to be on the microphone for it.
Absolutely. And Snowman, when you start that game, when that game starts, now we usually have the score up, and whoever's calling the game, the score is behind them. That game starts at 40-40.
Yep.
That game starts at last year's score. This is just a continuation. This is just we had 5 quarters. We had 5 quarters last year.
Right.
This is quarter. It starts.
Number 6.
It doesn't even start with quarter number 1. Quarter number 6. This is quarter number 6. 40-40.
So here's what I'm going to do.
They just changed venues. That's all that's going to happen.
Here's how I'm going to set it up then. Just to keep the joke going, I'll have 2 scoreboards up there. I'll have the one in real time that I usually have, and then I'll have a second one that is
one on the bottom.
I'll have one on the bottom where it's running from 40 to 40.
Quarters. So we'll have 9 quarters. We'll have about as many quarters as a baseball game.
Wait, no.
And maybe 10. We might hit double-digit quarters.
Yep, there you go.
It may wind up 80-80. Who knows?
80. Yep.
Wait, this is a math problem. Cowboys and Packers. And again, it's October 17th. That game may never have a solution. That series may never have a solution. It's a joke I always make. When I see 2 teams in the NBA World Championship that I don't like, let them play 6 games and let the 7th game be canceled and it ends in a tie. Now you can't cancel this game because it's already out there.
Right.
And all the Cowboy fans I've spoken to, these 2 included, remember the 40-40 game. Because if you all watch that broadcast, not only did Dietz swear on the air, and it was the most wonderful moment I ever heard in my life.
I've watched that full broadcast every day this past week.
Listen, all the stations that we were on, JKS, BWS, and the like, were laughing. So not only did you get away with it, they were laughing at the moment, but they did say, tone it down just a skosh, and they did like this. I said, okay.
And then as the great Cole Johnson says, the utter blasphemy And then and I know we're on one of them. I don't know if we're still on one of them, but we're on the, we're on a lot of these Christian stations. And not only, I mean, they probably got mad at the first one. If they were mad at the first one, I'm sure they were mad when Dak decided to throw the ball to Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in the middle of the game.
Here's the second clip that Dietz was describing. This occurred in the fourth quarter with the Packers up 27-23. It was 3rd and 6. Keep that in mind. It was 3rd and 6, and this is what happened.
Here he is back in the shotgun, takes a snap, steps back. He dances around a little bit, chased by Micah Parsons, and throws to Jesus Christ.
You can't make this up, folks. You simply cannot make this up.
And the best thing about that play is it didn't even happen because it got wiped out because of a penalty.
Right.
Yep, it got wiped out because of a penalty. So because of that, the Cowboys said, "You fool! It didn't happen."
Well, the Cowboys, the Packers were saying "you fool" because the Cowboys ended up getting a first down. They ended up getting not only was there one personal foul face mask, it got wiped out because of 2 personal foul face masks on the same play.
Two personal fouls on the same play. So not only did that reaction of exasperation didn't happen, the play didn't happen because the Cowboys, instead of only 4 yards on a third and 6.
Instead of fourth down, the Cowboys were now 1st and goal.
They had 1st and goal. They gained 30 yards. It's
the most insane. It's the most insane play of that game because it didn't happen.
They gained 30 yards in penalties on a 3rd and 6.
But it just tells you everything. That play tells you everything about the game. The Cowboys make a mistake. The Cowboys make one of the monumental mistakes of the game that they had been making all game. Up to that point.
Yes,
which is why the call is why the exasperation is in that call, because it wasn't the first time, it wasn't the last time, but it was building. The pressure was building up to that point.
It was.
And then not only does the play that it should have been 4th down, and then you get penalties on top of it that he raises it, that makes that hurts Green Bay. So the play hurt everybody, just like a tie hurts everybody. Everybody lost on that one play. Everyone lost that game.
You know, all the bettors went nuts after it wound up a tie.
All the bettors were upset. The bettors wanted to riot in the street.
Oh, no, I mean, it depends. And we've talked about gambling on the show, but I mean, if the only people that game helped is the people that bet green on roulette.
Right.
Anybody who bets green on roulette, they're just hoping and praying. Hey, maybe I can 10 times this thing, and it might hit once in a blue moon. And, well, anybody who bet a tie, came in. You know what? These guys are going to tie. That never happens.
Right.
That never happens. It happened that night.
It's like Ocean's 13 when the power went down and everybody started winning all at once. In 3 minutes, anybody who's watched Ocean's 13, in 3 minutes, the owner of that casino lost $500 million in 3.5 minutes. And it's like Dietz said, you bet green on a roulette wheel and say, hey, they're going to tie. Anybody that predicted a tie for the Cowboys and the Packers last year?
Anybody who predicted that game would be tied after halftime. Green Bay was running away with that game. The Cowboys couldn't stop them. The Cowboys couldn't move. I don't think they had a first down until midway through the second quarter.
Through the second quarter, right?
They didn't have first down until I think it's like 5 minutes until the end of the second quarter.
The Cowboys had done nothing up until like 5 minutes. 5 minutes left in the second quarter. The Cowboys went out and scored twice. We're like, what is happening here? And then the Cowboys roar all the way back, and then overtime just back and forth. We're like, oh, they're not going to have enough time. Go down, kick field, and just straight field goals. It was an insane game.
The fact that they had finally put someone in the middle of the field the entire second half to get down to a fourth down. If you keep the person in the middle of the field, the chances are that the Packers do not convert that first down, and the game is over.
And game's over.
No.
Game's over.
Instead, you go back to what you did in the first half. You don't have the middle of the field. Guess where the pass goes? Right in the middle of the field.
Right over the middle.
First down, Green Bay. Like, perfect.
It was just a calamity of errors by both teams. It was insane to watch. So it'll be good to get part two. At least we're getting part two, and it's not like 5 years later when like half the teams are different. No, this is next year. The rosters have not changed. There haven't been roster changes. This is monumental. I don't think we've ever had. I can't remember any story like this where the game ended in a tie and the two teams played again the very next year.
Right.
The very next year. I can't remember that happening either. We got a lot on the docket, so we're going to take a break right here. When we come back, we'll break down the full Cowboys schedule with Dietz and Victor. We'll also look at the 49ers, the Colts, the Chiefs, any team that's involved, any person that's involved with this show. We'll have Deb Wickus on at the top of hour 2 to look at the Eagles schedule, which means Deb is going to be fighting all of us. And at the bottom of the hour, Allison Moran. The bottom of hour 2, Allison Moran will join us to talk a little WNBA and the Chicago Bears schedule. We got a lot to do on this Friday edition.
And the NFL has an opening day problem.
Yes.
They do.
Big problem.
We'll do that at the bottom of hour 1. All right. We'll do that at the bottom of hour 1 as we get totally deets with that. All that and more as we react to football schedules and mix in a few other things, including the Montreal Canadiens with a 3-2 lead over the Sabres. What? Yes, that happened. Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your Commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central on the Sotoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where my soldiers? Right side. Commanders. Where my soldiers? Left side.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Cause we take this job so serious.
I'm on Alarm Island. Give me them cocks!
Okay.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Sorry.
I want college football now for that reason.
Right.
22 after the hour. We'll get the Cowboys schedule in a minute, but we are going to get totally deets because the NFL has an opening day problem.
Passionate.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Deeds.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
All right.
Then properly, and we got the game of the year is October 17th, okay? I don't care what the other games of the year are.
Game of the year.
The game of the year is the game of the year is October 17th with Dietz and Victor on the call. I'll be in the producer's chair. My wife's probably going to be bringing me snacks all night. All right, Dietz teased that the NFL has an opening day problem, so I see the floor to you. Take it away.
All right, so we all know Super Bowl champions get first game in their home building. So we get the Seattle Seahawks opening in Seattle, raising their championship banner. And who comes in? Who does the NFL decide to put across from them? A Super Bowl rematch with the New England Patriots.
Yep.
The Patriots come to Seattle on opening night. Now, most people that haven't been paying attention for the last, I would say, three months, people that haven't been paying attention, they would say, oh, this is absolutely Patriots Super Bowl rematch. Why not open the season with here's why. Because the last 3 months happened.
Right.
You have no games. There's no games up to this point. This is the first game.
Right.
So what's the lead? What is going to be the lead story in the lead up to this game is going to be New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel.
Oh, no.
Vrabel is going to be the only thing people are talking about when they're talking about the New England Patriots. They are not going to be looking at the disaster that happened in the Super Bowl. They're not going to be looking at, Kenneth Walker is in Kansas City after being the Super Bowl MVP. People are going to be looking at who is there on that sideline, and it's Mike Vrabel. And we're probably going to talk, because we haven't had a chance to talk to Allie about this, and so if Allie's coming on in the second hour, we're probably going to talk more about this. But you have the entire Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel situation that people said, "Oh, yeah, this is going to be a non-story. It's going to be a non-story." Watch the NFL draft coverage where the Patriots didn't even have a pick in the first round, and they talked about it for the almost a half-hour discussion about that whole situation and why Mike Vrabel's taking the last day of the draft, why he's not going to be there. They took a lot of time out of the draft coverage, which had many stories that they could have talked about, and they chose to talk about that. If you think that's not going to be talked about with no game, there's no games leading up to it. So it's not like they could be like, oh, well, this happened earlier tonight. This happened earlier in the day. Let's talk about this. Oh, this is how Seattle played last week. This is how the Patriots played last week. No, this is opening night. There is nothing else. There's nothing else to talk about on this. I can guarantee you there is going to be a spot on the pregame defining this entire disaster of a look for the NFL. And there's no way, and there's no way to get around it. Like if this game were a Sunday night game during week 4, you have all the games leading up to it that you could be talking about other stories. You have other games that Seattle's played that you could be talking about. You have other games the Patriots have played that you could be talking about where you could bury this story. You could bury it under, hey, this happened over the summer. We can mention it in a flyby and get away with it. There's nothing else there. You can't deny it. You can't get around it. You can't even move past it. It's going to be front and center. How is the pressure? Is the pressure getting to Mike Vrabel? Dealing with his off the field stuff. Now he's dealing with on the field. There's nothing else to talk about. It's going to be front and center. And I'm sure when they looked at this, they looked at it the same way I preface this with Super Bowl rematch. We got to have that. They didn't even think. It didn't even cross their minds that, we are stepping in it right out of the gate.
I had a talk with a friend of mine as we were going through the schedule, and he brought the exact same thing. And he was talking about like what's going to happen because that they're going to talk a little about the departures and acquisitions from both teams. Who left. Of course, Walker's going to be a big point of contention when it comes to the Seahawks. They said, but the Vrabel thing is going to be front and center. I'm like, who's going to be a sideline reporter for that? Troy Greco from the show Cheaters. He's going to be the sideline reporter just talking about Vrabel the whole time. He's like, yeah, that's going to be a crash. I'm like, here's the issue I have with it. It's like, you guys know that any form of a controversy is going to take front and center stage when it comes to the beginning of the NFL season. We've seen it a couple times before. Right. And if you thought people were mad at the Patriots for being cheaters before, what do you think they're going to do now? What do you think they're going to do now?
Yeah.
Did we lose Victor?
Yeah. No, he's still here. No, that's exactly the point. And the thing is, it was avoidable. Like this was totally avoidable.
Yeah.
This is self-inflicted, and it's like I said. I guarantee you, it didn't even cross their minds that this is happening, and it's not like this is a small story. Like this isn't a small story, and I'm kind of saving bullets in the chamber for when we talk about this with Allie, because I know Allie has some very, very good points that Allie will hit on this story, because we've been talking about it off the air in our Facebook group. When it was happening, we had a lot of really good discussions. We just haven't had a chance to on the air, which I'm sure we'll get to later. But this is a story that transcends football.
Yes,
It's not. This isn't X's and O's on the football field. This is, how Diana Rossini has been treated in this whole fiasco.
Right.
How Mike Vrabel has been coddled and treated during this fiasco.
Exactly.
How they've been polar opposites of how they've been looked at by almost everybody involved. That, one person has basically gotten all of the flack, and another person has had everything brushed aside as, hey, nothing to see here. So it goes to that. Then you look at it, it's not just two people, it's a man and a woman. So there's social contract of, is this a male thing? Is it male versus female? Is this the media coming down on somebody for coming down? They have to place blame somewhere, so they picked one person. Why did they do that? So again, it's more than just football. And again, this was totally avoidable. This is so you could have put any other team on Seattle's schedule. You could have put any other team in that slot, and you avoid all of this.
I'm sorry, this is gonna sound like a
And
sacrifice.
they chose this as their week 0, first game. And you know what? Maybe I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt. I'm going to take the other side of this. Maybe you know what they said? Hey, let's do it week 1. Let's get it out of the way. Let's get everything. Let's air everything. Get it out of the way, and then the game is played, and we move on. Maybe that's their thought. Maybe that's their thought.
I think that was.
I'm telling you right now. As somebody who is watching a lot of this kind of this drama stuff that's going on, and we've seen a lot of it over the last week with a certain YouTuber that has been on a crusade to ruin his career and everyone around him. Let me tell you this: it doesn't sweep under the rug when it's front and center.
Yes.
There's no avoiding. There's no avoiding it, and it has to be talked about. It is the elephant in the room.
Yes.
And if it's not, and this is the thing, they either discuss it and discuss it at length because it's the only thing to talk about, or they don't talk about it at all, and then that becomes the discussion. Why are they hiding this? And if they go hidden route, because we're seeing that with people that are trying to say, this is a non-issue, or I didn't know the issue, I didn't know this was going on. If you try to pull, we saw someone try to pull this last week with one issue, and it blew up to epic proportions and has blown up to. If they try to bury this story, it'll blow up 10 times worse.
It'll be catastrophic.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna sound like
it's
Snowman, but I think we one should have been Seattle versus San Francisco. That's the first game is going to be Seattle versus San Francisco.
Well, they lost out. They lost out on that. They lost out on that one when they decided San Francisco would open in Australia.
Right.
So they lost out on that matchup. But I mean, anybody else, any other team, you could have put Seattle in there. You could have celebrated last year's Super Bowl, and talked about that. Talked about whatever team they were going to put in there. I'm sure if they're playing the Patriots, then they have to be playing the AFC East. If you put the Buffalo Bills in there,
Bills could have been there.
You got the Bills changing. You got the Bills changing head coaches, going from You recap that they had McDermott, they took out the Vikings, they lost. You recap how they lost to the Broncos. There's so many stories that you could talk about leading up to that game. On the Bill, just on the Bills side, that you say, all right, here, we preview all that. Then we talk about the Seattle's run to the Super Bowl, and there's no controversial stuff to really talk about, and everything's fine. With Patriots Seattle, there's nothing there other than the Super Bowl. Seattle won in a disastrous game for the Patriots. And then what else are you going to talk about with the Patriots? What else are you going to talk about for the Patriots other than Mike Vrabel is going through all of this? And again, how they handle this was something they would not have to handle, but now it's at their doorstep. Now they have to.
And trust me, now that we know that game is going to start, everybody's going to talk about, okay, this is the first game and the Vrabel situation. How is this going to play out? Is there going to be more issues, more controversies, this, that, and the other? Are there more individuals involved? Are there less individuals involved?
And the other point is it's on a Wednesday night.
Yep.
The NFL has never, in the years that I've watched, they've never opened on a Wednesday night. They're opening on a Wednesday night this year because the big fat elephant in the room, in terms of the schedule, they're opening on a Wednesday night so Seattle can get their flowers and get their rings and raise their banner. And then you have a game in Australia, which could overshadow the Super Bowl champs. And Deets, you said it best. They had a chance to put Seattle and San Francisco. You open with a great NFC West rivalry. Right. You have the 49ers who are trying to get there and Seattle who is there. You can put the 49ers watching Seattle getting their rings, knowing Seattle had to beat them twice to get there, once for the NFC Championship, an NFC West Championship, I beg your pardon, and the other time in the divisional where they trounced the 49ers, let's be honest, 41-6. But you also have the storyline on San Francisco's side that everyone's healthy. Everyone's back, including Nick Bosa.
Not everyone.
Well, who's not healthy?
George Kittle.
Kittle, ACL.
George Kittle still recovering. He's still in recovery, and that's another thing that you could talk about because George Kittle recovering from injury.
Yeah.
Who caught the game-winning touchdown? Who caught the game-winning touchdown against Seattle in Week 1 last year?
Jake Tonjes.
George Kittle.
No, it's George
Kittle. Wrong. Because George Kittle injured himself in the first quarter. So the person who caught the game winner against Seattle in Week 1 was actually Jake Tonjes, who was a big signing in the offseason for San Francisco. They kept him for another 3 years. We got to go to a break, but that's our Totally Deets conversation for this morning. We'll speak more on that when Allie gets here because Allie did have some great points. But we're Totally Deets for right now.
Passion.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Deets.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
I want to say something.
We get into the meat of the fun.
Hold on, I want to say something to Damien real quick. I do agree that the Vrabel talk will happen regardless. It's a difference, though, between maybe talking it for about an hour and then talking about it for a couple of days and a couple of weeks. Because, mind you, the opening of the NFL season, they don't just talk about the day of. They talk about a week or so in advance.
And that's been the bulk it's been the bulk of the talk throughout the offseason.
So now you put that game and the Patriots front and center for be the first game of the season, everybody's gonna be talking about it for days and weeks, and it's just gonna put more and more pressure on the Patriots. Not saying it's not deserved, but that's the situation that they're in, and NFL is going to have a mess to deal with.
They got a mess to deal with now with that situation. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get to the reaction of the NFL schedule. And I talked with Victor yesterday over the phone, and some of his reactions were priceless. You'll hear them live after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
From the hills of Santa Clara to the legacy of the stick, this is where red runs deep and greatness wears gold. 40 plus years of fan, 30 years in the booth, and now it's personal. The 49ers like you've never heard them before. This is That 49ers Show on Snowman Sportsnet. Hosted by Brian Snow, each week you will get a recap of the game that just happened and the game that will happen. All the stats, facts, and figures, all the fun notes, fan chats, and everything else you could put into 30 minutes. This is That 49ers Show on Snowman Sportsnet. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central.
Cause we take this job so serious.
What are we doing?
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Gentlemen, a black man's going to talk about baseball for a couple of moments. Wait a minute, what? A black man talking baseball? And it's very personal for me and Victor. White Sox are a game above 500.
All right.
They swept, and I can't believe I'm going to say this sentence aloud. They swept the Kansas City Royals last night.
Wow. Well, Troy won't be on today.
Nope.
Troy will not be on today.
If he's on, he'll be on later. Now to the meat of the fun, and that is schedule reactions.
All right, before y'all start, I told Brian I had a song I was singing in my head the entire morning.
Oh no!
I go a little something like this. I feel like slapping some. I feel like slapping Goodell today. I really did. I looked at Venture wrong. It was a schedule. It makes schedules. I looked at it wrong like you did too. And since Deets here, he can talk me off the ledge because he usually does. He usually can talk me off the ledge with the schedule. So,
all right, let's get into it.
Well,
now
I'd have to know how you got to the ledge. I mean, I had the complete opposite. The Cowboys schedule is absolutely it works out for the Cowboys. I'm ecstatic as a Cowboys fan the way their schedule worked out.
Okay, let's go through it. Let's go through it. Week 1, Beats gets drunk at the New York Giants.
So the Cowboys open the season at Cowboys Stadium East.
Yep.
Yes.
So they get a home game in New Jersey.
Now, mind you, 2 years ago, Deeds said on the show, he said, "Hey guys, I'm not going to be on the show for a couple of days because I'm going to be at Giant Stadium for the Cowboys versus the Giants."
I was there in person. I was there in person for Cowboys Giants home opener for the Giants, coming off a playoff victory and the best season the Giants have had since Eli Manning took them to a Super Bowl. Okay, the best season they've had. They were all hyped up. They had everything going for them for the Giants to pack that stadium and be as loud as hell. And I will tell you this right now, I was in person. It was 75% Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get wrecked walking into that place with my Cowboys jersey on, with my Cowboys hat, with my Cowboys everything on. I thought I was going to be. I thought I was going to be harassed. I thought I was going to be, yelled at in the parking lot. Absolutely not. Everybody we ran into, most of them were Cowboys fans. And of all the Giants fans, I think I brought one of in our section. I think the only reason there was a Giants fan there is because I brought them.
Right. Well, the funny thing is that after that game, that was a 40-point
40-0.
It was 40-0. And Deese didn't show up for like almost a month. And I just said, Did he make it out of Giant Stadium?
Oh yeah. So I'm okay with that. Opening day, awesome. We had to play the Giants, but then look who we play week 2.
The Washington Redskins,
which is odd to me because usually
in Dallas,
usually save that for the middle of the year. Like usually that's a Thanksgiving game.
Exactly. At home against the Washington Commanders. Again, that's a winnable game for the Cowboys. The Washington Commanders are not. I mean, we beat them twice last year.
Yep. Week 3, you go to Rio and face the Baltimore Ravens.
Now, this one, you could say, "Oh, I'm mad at Roger Goodell." No. Again, this works out for us. Instead of getting embarrassed at home by the Baltimore Ravens, the Cowboys get to go to Brazil, and if the Ravens do what the Ravens should do and embarrass the Dallas Cowboys, it's out of the country. It's out of the country, so I don't. Who cares? It's not in front of the home. It's not in front of the home crowd. It's down in Brazil where no one cares. And not to mention it is in Brazil. Since it's in Brazil, what do they do in Brazil better than anybody else? Kick the ball. What do the Cowboys have that nobody else has? The best kicker in the league.
That's true. That's true. Brandon Aubrey starts his soccer career.
So we're already off to a good rip right there.
Week 4, Week 4, you go to Houston.
Battle of Texas. Dallas Texans.
The Cole Johnson special. By the way, week 4, leading up to week 4 and post week 4, make sure you're watching Playmaker and Cole show. But bearing down the gridiron.
Snowman.
I'm sure Cole will have some very, very choice words.
I believe he will.
Based on that game.
Okay, week 5. It's a short week. You host Tampa Bay at Jerry World.
It's a short week, and notice what's happened here. Notice what's happened here. We didn't talk about this, but we mentioned it before. But Snowman hasn't mentioned it when reading off the games. Sunday night football prime time. Mm-hmm. Washington Redskins game is at 4:25, which means it's the prime time game.
It's a game of the week.
It's 4 o'clock. It's a game of the week. 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. 4:25 means it's prime time. Week 3 is in Brazil.
4:25.
Prime time game. Prime time. Prime time game. It's a prime time game because it's international. That's a prime time game.
1 o'clock.
Fourth one is the Texans, and I think it's 1 o'clock. So that one's not a prime time. Next week, so five games. We've done 5 games. 5 games here.
Hold on,
Wait a minute.
4 of them are primetime games.
Hold on a second. Snowman, quick question.
Yes.
What time for Allie? What time for Allie?
Bottom of hour 2.
Bottom of hour 2. So
I think we can. Deb says she has 30 minutes available. We're going to try to make it shorter so we can have Allie on a little longer.
Okay.
So, give Allie the message of 11. I'll say 11:25.
So 11:25.
And we'll have Allie.
10:25 our time. Okay.
Yeah.
10:25 her time.
Yep. So we'll have Allie close the show now.
Speaking of 5 games, 4 primetime matchups so far.
And then this happens. Weeks 5, 6, and 7 are all primetime games. You host Tampa Bay on Thursday. You go to Green Bay, and we already broke that.
Sunday night football.
Yes.
And then you get Monday Night Football
against the Eagles
at Philadelphia.
Against the Eagles.
Yep.
Then it gets back to normal. 1 o'clock against Arizona, who comes to Dallas. Week 9. I wish these could come up here and I can meet them in person because they travel to Indy to take on the Indianapolis Colts.
Here's the funny thing about that, right? I told Snowman when Caleb Downs got drafted by Dallas, I said, they're going to really prop up and I didn't think it was going to happen until maybe like a couple of years later. I said, they're going to really prop up the match between the Colts and the Cowboys. Josh Downs on one side, Caleb Downs on the other side. Offense versus defense, they're going to match them up. And I know Dr. K is going to be there. You're going to be there. I'm going to be there. And then he said,
I am definitely going to have a busy.
Now, I saw that game, but where's that game? Where's that game being played? Is that game in Indianapolis?
Indianapolis. Yeah, it's at Lucas.
Yeah. So see, here's where when Victor mentioned Caleb Downs, and I didn't even think about the brother matchup or whatever they got going on, but
yep, they're brothers.
Caleb Downs, Ohio State safety, going to Lucas Oil Stadium where he has had disasters in that state. He has had disasters as an Ohio State Buckeye. That place has not been good to Caleb Downs. Now he goes to the Cowboys and he's like, you know what? I don't have to see Lucas Oil Stadium. Scratch that plan. Year 1.
Scratch that plan.
Going to Lucas Oil.
Going to Indy, and the Big Ten championship didn't treat him kind either this past year. Then you got this another primetime game, November 15th.
Right
you face
after that.
Right after you go to Indianapolis. You come home and you host San Francisco.
We gotta see.
They get the back-to-back Snowman special.
Right.
Colts and 49ers back to back. But again,
they got to do with Snowman back to back. Wonderful.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Victor, you said there was a problem with the schedule. Like, look at where all our hard games are. All our hard games are in the middle.
in the middle.
This is where you want your hard games. Because you want to get off to a good start, which we just mentioned is definitely doable for the Dallas Cowboys to get off to a good start. Where after the first games, if they're 3-1, that's a great start for the Dallas Cowboys. Then you get into that middle of the schedule where, and by the way, we get the 49ers in the middle of the season, so you know what's going to be happening. They're going to be in and out. They're going to be in and out of the infirmary. So
right,
we get the 49ers at the right time, the Colts at the right time.
Maybe this year it'll be different. Maybe this year we won't.
But I worry about is that
I can't. I can't argue with Dietz's logic that we'll be in and out of the infirmary. That's for the last 5 years. Deb's standing. We're due for a break, and Deb's standing by, so we're gonna race through this. The difficult stretch. You go to Indy, you host San Francisco, you get a pseudo bye week with Tennessee, and then Thanksgiving you host Philadelphia. Then you go to Seattle, you get a bye in week 14. Then you go to the Los Angeles Rams in week 15. And I can't wait to hear the banter between Dietz and Playmaker for that one.
Oh, my God.
Week 16, you get Jacksonville, another primetime game. Week 17, you host the Giants, and then you go to Washington to finish the season. And I got to turn on some more lights in here. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, the lovely Deb Witkiss will kick off hour 2. Normally she closes hour 2, but she's in a hurry this morning, so we have to be nice. Hour 2 in a deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central. On the Sotoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where's my soldiers? Right side. Commanders. Where's my soldiers? Left side.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Cause we take this job so serious.
I'm on Alarm Island. Give me them cocks!
Okay.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
man, we are right at the. Of course. Victor, you know what to do.
We're right at the 10 o'clock hour on my side, 11 o'clock on your side, and we owe you an ID. This is Snowman in the morning.
You're listening to WQVZ, 1700 AM Mission Radio.
Broadcasting live in your region, across your nation, and around the world. This is Snowman Multimedia Sports.
It's really, in the end, basically a skill issue. Ball goes Vincent Caleb Williams.
I am cute. Now do me a favor. Hell out of my face, you thirsty sons of bitches.
I hear a couch on the way.
All right.
I hear a couch on the way for you.
I hear 4 of them on the way for me. I don't think she knows about that one. Oh, dear Lord.
I think she has. Well, she'll know now.
Speaking of IDs, there's one I need to do for a very pretty lady that's waiting for us.
Yes, and there
I
are.
love that. And I'm in the same outfit. That's just funny.
There are actually quite a few really good clips that I've heard from Deb. Particularly, there was one game I'm trying to remember. I think it was Falcons and Carolina, and Deb's like, "Oh God, no."
No, I think I said it comes down to who has the bigger bird.
No, that was Eagles and Falcons. Was it Eagles and Falcons?
There were so many games this past year, and welcome Deb Whitkus in her third season with us. There are so many times I've heard Deb say something that has us cracking up laughing. It's not even funny.
Another good one is Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz. What's it like to go back to your ex?
It's not like it is. What can I say?
Like, yow.
I mean, the clips I could pull for Deb there's so many of them. There's one she zinged me with when there was a glass game 2 years ago. Victor broke glass, and then Deb just looked and said, "How many of these you gonna get?"
Not fair. Come on, guys.
Because look, all right.
One did not hold time though. That did not age well last season.
But it's still funny.
Yeah.
But it's still funny.
My favorite one, and it's the last one I'm gonna use. Favorite one. At number 1, God help me. I just yell out, Caleb Williams.
Shut your mouth. Like I'm saying that it didn't age well. Caleb Williams.
No, it did.
It very well.
Yeah.
It did not age well at all.
Guess what I have up now?
But it's still funnier than hell, so I'm keeping it.
Guess what I have up now, Snowman?
What's that?
The Eagles schedule.
That I have it too. And since Deb is here, this is our concentration today with Deb Whitkus, and I hope you like the new intro video I just played for you. I was messing.
I love it.
I was messing around. I was waiting to surprise you with that.
Loved it. Thank you. I'm in the same jacket.
There you go. I love it.
This is my favorite Eagles jacket. I literally had this for probably 15 years. Still going strong, man. Like my birds.
All right, Deb. Here we go. Break it down for us. Week 1, you host Washington in Philadelphia.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Well, I do think the Commanders are going to be better this season. I do think it's great that we're playing NFC West. NFC East. I'm sorry. Jesus. It's morning. It's like 8 a.m. here. NFC East, division, first game. I think the first 3 games are manageable. I think it's an opening stretch. I think it could set the tone for the entire season. We got the Commanders, then we go to the Titans, then we go to the Bears. Speaking of Caleb Williams.
Hey, you get to play the Bears, and it's not on a Friday. It's not on a Friday afternoon.
Right.
So you can make the argument they should start 3-0 minimum, right? That I'm a little worried about the Bears game.
I'm laughing because you get. I'm laughing because you get to see Caleb Williams again, especially with the liner that I have. Then week 4, you and Playmaker get to fight because for the second consecutive year, the Rams come to Philadelphia.
Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna try to get to that game. I might be in town. I might be in Philly that week or the week after. So I'm gonna try to make that work. So, I mean, it's the Rams. Come on, Matthew Stafford, MVP. It's going to be a great game. The Rams are going for it this season. I mean, they went for it last season as well. Almost made it. Don't get me started. That's a whole other rabbit hole I can go down. That's man.
Considering I cover the NFC West, you and I both can go down that rabbit hole, Deb, and I think we have on several occasions. Week 5,
yep.
You see Jacksonville in London.
Yeah, I am a little worried about that. I'm excited for London. Don't get it twisted. But that travel factor always an issue, right? So we'll see. And it's the Jaguars. It's a playoff team from last season, so we'll see. Interestingly enough, I think this schedule is way easier. I saw the schedule come out, and I was like, oh, wow. I don't think it's that hard. I think last season was brutal. They played 11 playoff teams, and this season they're only scheduled to play 6 playoff teams. So Jacksonville is so.
Well, here's a surprise. Here's one playoff team you see in week 6. I'm glad it's an early start. You see Carolina in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, Colorado cannot speak today. I'm so tired. It's Friday, and I'm like, woo!
It is okay. It is.
Wait a minute. Full stop. You're telling me week 5, the Eagles have to go to London.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they play right again in week 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got away with that. Hey, if you go overseas, you get a bye week to come back.
No, not in this case. And
wow, that's terrible. That's a terrible travel.
Look, the Colts don't have that luxury either because we got to go. The Colts have to go overseas. Then there's week 7, and Dietz, Victor and I already talked about this game. It's Monday night. It's in Philadelphia, and you face the Cowboys.
Yeah,
I
mean, NFC West always a challenge, right? I keep on saying West, and I'm just like, over the Rams. Why am I doing this?
I know why. I'll tell you why you keep saying West at the end of this stuff.
NFC East.
Okay.
Always a challenge. At least I'm catching myself.
And you
right?
see 3 consecutive NFC. You see 3 consecutive NFC East opponents.
Yep.
Here's the funny.
Beginning with the Cowboys on Monday Night Football, and then Sunday Night Football, you get Washington, and then week 9 before you bye, you get the New York Giants.
Well, here's the funny thing. You thought we go back to the England game. Could we possibly have a collaboration with Deb and Jen?
Ooh.
That would be fun.
You know what? When we do picks that week, that could happen. When we do picks, that could happen. Then they get a chance to heal in week 10, heal up their wounds, and then week 11, it's the Battle of Pennsylvania with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's in Philadelphia. And
we'll see if
the Eagles
right?
that week. Listen, the Eagles in week 11 have one job for me: bury Aaron Rodgers. Please.
If he's coming back.
Oh, he'll be back.
He'll be back. He's holding the Steelers hostage.
Man in football.
What was that?
He's the pettiest man in football.
Aaron Rodgers is the pettiest man in football.
No. Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back. He ain't going anywhere.
Nope, he's not. Then we say Happy Thanksgiving with the Dallas Cowboys. And
I want to get Deb's thoughts on now. Just look at how that game plays out. The Cowboys get not 1, 2 bye weeks heading into Thanksgiving because they got the Tennessee Titans, then their actual bye week, and then Thanksgiving. They get 2 bye weeks heading into that Thanksgiving Day matchup.
That Thanksgiving Day game can get scary. I'm going to say that.
It's in Dallas.
Because Dallas does have those, the 2 bye weeks.
Just remember what happened last year when Philly came to Dallas. I mean, it was 21. It was 21-0 when I left for work, and I come back and Victor's saying, "How'd the Cowboys win that game?" And I was like, "I don't know. I was on my way to work."
Yeah, like I said, I mean, NFC East is always a good game. The rivals, that rivalry, you just never know. NFC East, and
I was joking with my manager. Remember the manager who had heard you say "sweep that"? You know what? And
yes,
I told him about you that you're a Eagles fan. He said, "Well, how does she feel about the Cowboys coming back to win against Eagles?" I'm pretty sure she was like staked out in front of Kevin Patullo's house. Like, I'm gonna so bad.
I was not, but there are people that were. For sure.
Week 13, 4:05, you get the Arizona Cardinals. And then week 14, I'm going to have Eagle stuff thrown at me because Deb and Dr. K get together because they host the Indianapolis Colts at 1 o'clock, which also means there's a chance my wife will be sitting next to me for that game against Philadelphia. And then week 15, you see the champs. Week 16, you host Houston. And I already texted Deb about this one. Week 17.
Right away. The schedule came out. There were Snowman right in my text. Right in there. I was like, I knew it.
Week 17, you come to San Francisco. Oh my gosh.
Let's go 49.
Which could be a playoff preview. Given these two teams history recently, and this is the first time in 4 years they're coming to Santa Clara, because the last 3 times we played the Eagles, we played them in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's been years since we played, because I think I was the last one. It was what I actually missed a high school reunion for one of the games.
Right.
So it's been a while.
Yep.
I mean,
like I said, this is the first time that they played in Philadelphia. This is the first time they played in San Francisco or Santa Clara since 2020. They closed out the '94 season in Candlestick Park. This one here, I got a big red circle around it. A, because it's one of my best friends, Deb's team, and the Philadelphia Eagles, which is my second NFC team. Secondly, they could see each other potentially 4 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
I
think they will. Yeah.
They could see each other at the end. They're seeing each other at the top of the month of January, and there's a chance they could see each other at the bottom of the month of January, which is frightening.
I'm still blown away that they did so well last season with what they had. Yeah. Can we just?
You know what?
That moment just needs to have a little bit of a moment here.
Right.
Still. That was, it was incredible.
When I went, my wife and I went to dinner for the playoff game with Philadelphia. Saw our daughter Cheyenne and her boyfriend, and I got the Eagles game right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I told myself, I'm not going to get excited. I'm not going to get excited. My wife turned around, and then she looked at me, and she says, "How are the Niners doing?" I think they're trailing right now. Then the trick play happened.
Mm-hmm.
Jawan Jennings throws to Christian McCaffrey, and I nearly jump out of my seat My daughter turns around and she says, "Oh, the 49ers are in front again." Her boyfriend's cracking up. He says, "You must be a 49er fan." Big one. And then the game winner to McCaffrey, and then the incompletion happened. And my wife said, "You're going to be happy on the drive home." I said, "Yeah, because I don't know how the hell we went into Philadelphia and took them out with half the team that we had."
I think a
I
good
think you
chunk
had
of
half of a team, to be honest. I think you just had like McCaffrey and like
We-
3 players.
we had bare bones by the time we got to Seattle. We were wrecked.
I'll ask a question. This is just probably just me like over speculating. Do you think that Jalen kind of played differently from the first half of the season, the second half of the last season? It seemed like he wasn't throwing as confidently as he normally does. He's usually very confident in his throws, but it seemed like he seemed a little more not timid, but kind of like he wasn't really stepping into it. I'm not sure if that's just me or
At the end of the season or the beginning of the season?
towards the end of the season. Towards the end of the season.
Right.
Because I mean,
I thought he got more competitive as this towards the end of the season. So I don't know.
I think he could have shredded the Bears.
I would say after that Tampa Bay, I would say that Tampa Bay game messed with him, and not messed with him, but messed with the way the Eagles play calling. Because when they won that game without throwing a pass in the second half, the Eagles started to think, we can win games without throwing. We can win games. We don't have to throw the ball. And I think they got really comfortable in, we'll give Jalen some place to throw, but we don't have to do it. And that kind of I think it messed with the chemistry of that team.
Yeah,
Well,
because
we know what really messed with the chemistry of that
Yeah,
team.
well,
His name's Tulo.
yeah.
That was the problem. And I'm still not convinced Nick Sirianni is like the guy either, but I knew
it goes to something that I've said a few times, and I've said it with different coaches in different sports. If you win a world championship, you wind up buying equity.
Yep.
Nick Sirianni has bought equity twice.
Yep.
All right, with 2 Super Bowl championships. Nick Skinny
Tell
Jeans Sirianni. Thank you, Cool McCain, for that.
Tell that to Doug. Tell that to Doug Peterson.
Right.
all that equity he built up from winning a Super Bowl. Oh wait, it was gone the next year.
How much equity
That was
did
also
he
Carson
buy?
Wentz.
Yep.
Yes, that was Carson Wentz.
How much
I
equity did
texted you
he
like
buy
Carson.
off of? How much equity did he buy off of that Philly special? And now everybody's counting on that.
None. he got no equity because they couldn't wait to kick him out the door.
Yeah.
And that was kind of Nick Foles who suggested that anyway, right? I don't
Yeah.
think Peterson came up with that.
Always why I ask questions because I was thinking like the Eagles should have shredded the Bears. They should have just shredded the Bears because the Bears.
That's what I was. Day after Thanksgiving. That's what I was looking for.
Right. I'm like, how did the Eagles lose that game? I'm just saying, like, he's not stepping into his throws like normal.
It was the day out. It was the day after Thanksgiving. It was a Friday afternoon. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Games shouldn't be. NFL games should not be on Friday between the Friday after Thanksgiving. Come on.
Well, the NFL can't help it. They see an opportunity for money, they're going to take it.
Money.
I mean, come on.
There you go. Money.
What was the first? Listen, what was the first Black Friday game? Dolphins.
Jets. Dolphins Jets.
What the hell is wrong with that picture?
Dolphins and the Jets.
Dolphins Jets was the first Black Friday game. And I watched not a minute of that doggone thing.
You know what?
When they kicked off. Go ahead, Victor.
I really want the Eagles to just shred the Pittsburgh Steelers because I don't want Mike McCarthy to have a moment's happiness.
I don't want to hear Aaron Rodgers' mouth at all.
Have misery all day long.
Well, let's get Deb's thought on this because I hopped on it right from the beginning. the Eagles won the NFC East last year.
Yeah.
How many primetime games for the Philadelphia Eagles next year? I've counted 7.
7.
5. Well,
Five?
it's
Yeah.
five true primetime games.
Yeah.
But,
And then the London game.
right, and they had 5 last season as well.
Mhm.
And the Dallas Cowboys have 11.
It's tough. That's what the Eagles had last year.
And then there's the power of flex scheduling, but you have to wait until after week 10 for that to happen. So that number could either go up or down. Just as San Francisco last year.
Yeah.
Just as the 49ers last year.
Yeah. Same
And
thing last year. Yeah, last year the Eagles the schedule was relentless.
Yeah.
Last year. The playoff, stacked playoff teams, short rest situations, elite quarterbacks almost every other week.
Mhm.
Those brutal late season travel there.
Oh yeah.
Draining primetime games. Like the Eagles had it tough. They had this season. I was very excited to see the schedule this season because it's
All right, we're gonna let
they were the Super Bowl champions last year. They should have had a hard schedule.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what comes with the territory.
It does. It does.
Watch out, Seahawks.
And the Seahawks are minus Kenneth Walker. They let
minus the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, which is wild.
A Super Bowl MVP and Kenneth Walker walk to Kansas City. What?
Because even though Seattle was touchdown heaven for one season, they go back to being football purgatory. They go right back in.
You know what? I'm not gonna argue with that. I'm not
Now
gonna
before you get out of here, Deb, did you watch our mock draft before the draft?
I didn't.
Okay, let me explain this to Deb. So Deb, this is why you keep saying West instead of East. So the Chargers were on the clock. Now we were making picks. It was all fun and games picks.
Yeah.
Chargers were on the clock. Eagles were picking next. So Snowman said, "Who do the Chargers take?" And I said, with the 23rd pick, the Chargers select Deb Whitkus.
I have a Chargers event on Saturday, actually, or tomorrow. We're doing that.
And you know something?
That's hysterical.
See, me and Deb get to fight 3 times because not only do the Eagles play the Colts and the 49ers, the 49ers go to Los Angeles to play the Chargers.
So I think Chargers are going to be something to watch out for this season.
I think so too. I mean, they were
Might be their season.
they were 2 games away from capturing the West, the AFC West, which is why Deb kept saying West instead of East.
Because I live in the West next to the Rams, and I'm covering the Chargers tomorrow. So West is just in my head for some strange reason.
Yep.
Get me back on the East Coast, I'll be fine.
I know. All right, we're gonna let you go because we know you got to get out of here. Thank you, Deb Whitkus, the lovely Deb Whitkus, for joining us. She'll be with us every Friday throughout football season. We love you, Deb. Thank you very, very much for joining us. We appreciate you.
Everyone have a good weekend. See you soon.
Thanks, Deb.
Brought to you by Fanatics, officially licensed everything. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, for the first time in a while, Mike Drop Moran. And Allie, hope you're feeling better because we're going to make you laugh. Back in the news.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, Say the tag.
where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central. On the Sotoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where my soldiers? Right side. Commanders. Where my soldiers? Left side.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Cause we take this job so serious.
I'm on Alarm Island. Give me them cocks!
Okay.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Once again, sorry,
7
dog.
after the.
Once again, sorry, dog.
I'm not. It's one of
I
the
know
best
you're
lines.
not.
That's what? Are you actually saying I take pleasure with him saying that?
Yes.
You're doggone right, I do. 27 after the hour.
Oh, I'm gonna
And,
open the windows. It's time for the magical winds to blow through.
Yep. And I surprised Deb with her new intro. Now I get to surprise Allie.
Get the fires and light the fires.
All right. I love that.
How are you feeling, my dear?
Well, a hell of a lot better than I have at any time in the last 2 weeks. I have had a sinus infection to, just mount. You have no idea how much is in this body, how much liquid fire is in this body.
A lot of strength in there too.
There is. Yeah. Well, mercifully, amoxicillin is stronger than all of us.
See, me and when I was in the hospital, last time I was in the hospital, me and amoxicillin had a great relationship because 1, it worked, and 2, it kept knocking me out. Because every time they'd come in with amoxicillin, it would be after I ate something and my wife was getting ready to leave. They come in with amoxicillin, and the next thing I know, it's 4:00 in the morning.
I get it.
See, that's not fair. That's not fair that Allie comes in after being sick, and now I have to ask her, what's up with the Indiana fever?
What's up? Hey, one thing I read, Dietz, was that you have Caitlin Clark is still learning to trust her body again. Not that she isn't doing outstanding, but that I think that they are getting used to playing together again. I know their opening game against the Wings, unbelievable. By the way, most watched game on ESPN for last week. Problem is,
highest scoring game, 211 points. Highest scoring opening game.
107 to 104. Can you believe it? I think that they're just getting readjusted to having Caitlin Clark at the center of the action. I don't think it's going to last very long. Personally, I think it's just a matter of Caitlin Clark overcoming that hesitation. It doesn't show in her play, obviously, but I also know that in transition and things like that, it can be a very difficult thing to have your body like, oh my God, is that going to tweak again? Is there going to be another issue that I'm going to have to deal with this year? That's all mental. And
as we said on this program, and as we've said, let them cook, let's let things go. But we know that's not the case in media and internet media. So I'm just asking you, Allie, is it true? Is the season over for the Fever? Because that's what everybody was saying after game one. After game one, the Fever are finished. The Fever are finished. That was all the talk after game one.
It's
game one.
Let me answer that question because I did that game.
It's almost identical to what happened with Derrick Rose post 2012.
Yes.
When he got hurt.
After he torn his ACL.
When he got hurt, it took a long time for him to trust that knee again.
Yeah.
And you saw him do more shots. You didn't see him do a lot of the cuts that he used to do. It took a long time for him to trust his body again. The same thing Kelly said for CC. And let's be honest, Deets, we hear that all the time.
Again, I'll bring it up in jest because as we said, we correctly said,
yes,
let them cook. It's game one. Everybody relax. Everybody hit the pause button. Relax. But you know how the media and you know how the internet is. The internet is. Oh my God! Game 4. You have 42 games left. You lost one. It's over. Blow it up. Blow the whole thing up.
Exactly. Remember this, Deets, is and Victor and Brian for that matter. It was 296 days between Caitlin Clark's appearances on court, and she's had a grueling rehab. I mean,
well, that's what I said. That's what I said. I said the win out of game one was you got 30 minutes out of Caitlin Clark. I mean,
right?
That's a win. That's a win that she went through, and that the next day she got out of bed and was walking. Like that's a win. That's a win.
Absolutely.
She's only going to get better from here.
You get 31 minutes out of Caitlin Clark in game one. You get 34 minutes out of her in game two, and that was a West Coast trip. That's out in Los Angeles.
Right.
Where the Fever have not done well in the past 4 years, and yet they won the last 2 times they've played in LA. Last year, without Caitlin, they beat them 76-75. And then with Caitlin, who led the team in scoring, by the way, that night with 24 points, which is what people want to gloss over all the time. Allie and I have talked about this for years when it comes to special players. They gloss over the fact that, this is Kelsey Mitchell's team. All these Indiana Fever fans are trying to get in my head. And I'm like, are you kidding me? How many times has Kelsey Mitchell said, this is CC's team? How many times has Aaliyah Austin said it? How many times has Stephanie White said it?
Now, they have had an amazing run with and without Caitlin Clark. So they know how to play with and without her. So it's one game. It's one
exactly. It's one game. Now on that note, Allie, let me ask you one more question about WNBA.
Sure.
At what point? At what point do we start calling the Atlanta Nightmare? At what point did the dream blow up?
Oh God. Let's see. I was fairly impressed. Honestly, I was fairly impressed. Considering, Angel Reese, they've done, a pretty good job. But let's take it for more than the first week before we decide when they're going to blow up.
You got Brittany Griner and Angel Reese on the same team. I'm just that is a ticking time bomb. Waiting for it. I mean, if it goes south, it's going to blow up real quick.
Not to mention
but
the fact,
even if it doesn't, those two entities together, you're playing with napalm.
You probably are.
Not to mention the fact you got Ryan Howard on that team, who
was the undisputed star before all this happened.
Who is their captain? And then Angel Reese showed up, and I've got to get this off my chest. I've got to say it. Mm-hmm. I watched the Atlanta Dream, and I watched Angel Reese. I'll repeat a line from Chris Dietz that he said last year. He corrected me correctly, I might add. And I said, Angel Reese has started at the bottom and has done nothing. And then Dietz decided to correct me. And we say this in jest. And he said, no, Snowman. Angel Reese started at the bottom and has gotten worse. Because
I don't know about that.
I watch you, Victor, you know this about me. Matter of fact, all you guys know this about me. I study tape.
Yes.
And lots of it. I look for mechanics. How are their mechanics? And that's true in any sport with any team. I don't even have to cover them, but I look at mechanics with a lot of players. In a sentence, Angel Reese hasn't got any. Why do you?
I don't know about that one.
I disagree. I'm going to go with Victor on this.
That's a stretch. I think she's actually gotten better. And the funny thing is, every time Angel gets better, that makes Taylor Marsh look worse. Because
you know what?
If she could do this on the Atlanta team, why can't she do it? Why could she do it on your team?
It's Taylor because I'll tell you why. I don't have the graphic available, but y'all know the joke that's coming. Because yes, Taylor, it is you.
Exactly.
Nah.
Because yes, Taylor Marsh, it is you.
Tyler Marsh.
What we're seeing with Angel Marsh or with Angel Reese is, and what we're seeing with Angel Reese is the fundamental is a fundamental truth of sports.
Yes.
Winning cures everything.
Yes.
That's true.
When they're as long as Atlanta keeps winning, they'll be able to coexist and be fine.
Right.
The issue's gonna come. It's gonna come at some point in the season.
When they start losing.
When they lose that first game, what happens? But what happens when they lose multiple games? When they lose multiple games in a row, and people start putting microphones in front of all the entities that they have down there. That's when you got to be ready for the fireworks.
Yeah. What's going to happen when they lose 3 in a row? If and when they lose 3 in a row, 4 in a row, maybe even 5 in a row. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's a long season. It's going to happen. You're going to have back-to-back losses at some point. Every team's going to have.
There's 44 games. There's 42 left or 41 left to play. I mean, that is a lot of basketball. So there's plenty of time to make adjustments. God only knows. I mean, Brittany is in her mid-30s now. We don't know how much more of this she could take. I think that for now they're figuring out a way. keep on top of it. And I think that that Angel Reese is out for revenge. Now, she was not picked by Tyler Marsh. If you'll remember that, she was not the golden child, so to speak. And I have to tell you that I will not be able to say this in all likelihood at any other time this year, but the Chicago Sky is undefeated and leading the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
After 2 games. Now, after tonight against the Mercury, we'll see what happens. But
and that's a West Coast game. That's a 10:00 tip. And we're doing the WNBA carousel tonight because there are 4 games to look at. I'll have
both of you are here. Starting tonight at 6:30. It's the cross in baseball.
Crosstown Cup.
That's right.
And the White Sox. And I am going to say a sentence I haven't had a chance to say in 2 years. The White Sox have won 6 in a row.
That's right. And they both come into this matchup with winning records. This is, and that hasn't been the case, I think, in 18 years.
The case since 2008.
Yes.
All right. When both teams made the playoffs, even though it took the White Sox an extra game, how fun would it be, Allie, to have that happen again? Where both
I'd love it.
Cubs would make the playoffs. Had a chance to catch a couple of Cubs games. This is a sharp team.
Yes.
This is a very sharp team. What's impressed me about the White Sox is that, yes, they started the season with a couple of blowouts. They lost 14-2 at Milwaukee and 10-0 at Miami.
Mm-hmm.
But then what set them on their way was when the American League champion Blue Jays came to town and they swept them.
Yeah.
2 of those 3 games were walk-off wins. And I took a look at this team and I'm going, okay, there's something beginning to click. And they had some more bad losses, but then all of a sudden, 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 5 in a row on their way out to Los Angeles to see the Angels. 2 of 3 in San Diego. They lose 2 of 3 in Los Angeles against the Angels, and they lose the first one against Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
But now they've won 6 in a row. They won the last 3 of that 4-game set against the Seattle Mariners. They just took care and gave the Royals a royal flush. And now, man, these are 2 very... I will say it now, and Damien ain't going to like the way I'm going to say this, but these are 2 very good teams facing each other at a point in the season. We're in the middle of May, where we have not been able to say, as Chicagoans for the longest time, these are 2 teams on winning streaks right now.
That's right. Which is going to make this matchup a dream come true.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. I am too.
Wait a minute. Time out.
What, Deets?
We're talking about baseball? Baseball?
No one talks about baseball, right?
I've got to do it.
No one talks about baseball.
Deets, do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again. Do it again, please.
Nobody talks about baseball.
That is perfect.
I want
that is perfect.
Allie's announcement on this. So Damien says he's calling it now. Caitlin Clark and Raven will have problems before Angel does in Atlanta. What do you think about that?
Wrong.
I disagree.
Wrong.
I think he's absolutely right. I think that this is the one thing. I think Damien's he's right and wrong at the same time. I think.
Do explain.
Snowman. You're looking at this from the practical point of view, where I agree with you. I don't think Raven and Caitlin will have a problem.
Right.
Will the media cut things into creating a problem between Caitlyn and Raven? Absolutely. And
of course they will.
so and the question that he says is, will Caitlyn and Raven have a problem before Angel, Brittany, and the Dream? Absolutely, because when the Dream are turning into the nightmare, as I called it, when that's happening, you're going to see media. You're going to see media silence, and you're going to hear one side of the story, another side of the story. You're not going to hear them both going at each other. When Raven and Caitlyn could have disagreements on a game, and I guarantee you, the media will cut it into Caitlyn said this, Raven said that. They're at odds with each other when they're really not. They're really not, because we talked about it before. Caitlyn and Raven are two really competitive people, and competitive people can combat each other. They can feed off of each other's stuff where it doesn't bother them. But the way it's going to be spun in the media is that they're at odds. So in a way, I agree with that. So that's the way I agree with them. I agree with Damien in the fact of we'll hear about it. We'll hear about a rift in Indiana before we hear about any rifts down in Atlanta.
But let me say this. When I've said this since Caitlin Clark has been drafted, the Indiana Fever have a big fat target on their back because they drafted Caitlin Clark number one. They drafted Caitlin Clark. Don't fall now. They drafted Caitlin Clark number one overall. They have a big fat target on their back, and they're always going to have a big fat target on their back because to Dietz's point, they tried to spin this during the offseason with one Kelsey Mitchell.
Yeah.
And there have been many outlets here in Indiana, especially down here where I live in southern Indiana, saying Mitchell's the leader of the team. Allie, let me ask you a question, and I know you've covered the WNBA as long as I have. How many times has Kelsey Mitchell said this? How many times has Kelsey Mitchell said this is Caitlin Clark's team?
100. I mean, she's always been very, I won't say deferential, but I will say that she knows what side her bread is buttered on.
Yep.
And I think that they all look at it as a team. They are a team. They do not, they're all there for the same purpose. And they've got their eyes focused on their mission, which is to win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that whatever blows up the internet is not going to change the fact that each of those people want to be a winner. Every person who was drafted or who was acquired by the Indiana Fever or any other team wants to win. And in the end, it is still a team game.
Yes.
And it will always be a team game. So,
correct.
Yeah. So to my mind,
well, they tried this. They tried this last year. I mean, the media tried this last year with Caitlyn and Sophie. They tried to put a riff in them before that Connecticut game. And then when Sophie came out and defended Caitlin Clark by tackling the girl on the court, that narrative was blown up. That Sophie doesn't like Caitlin, and then Sophie comes out and defends Caitlin. Well, now you can't run that narrative that Sophie and Caitlin are at odds. They tried it. They tried it, and it failed in front of their face.
And then Sophie tackled Marina Mabry after Marina Mabry.
I remember well.
Caitlin Clark.
Yep.
Right.
Speaking of media, because Dietz had this question before, or he actually opened totally Dietz with this statement. The NFL's opening season game, week 0, Patriots Seahawks, and we all know what's going to be taken front and center. That's Mr. Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
What do you? Why did the NFL put themselves in this position?
Kicks just keep getting harder to find. I can tell you, I will. I couldn't quite hear your question, Victor.
Well, no, I was simply asking, and I think Deeks probably could ask it better than me. Why did the NFL put themselves in this position? Because you know that the biggest story is not going to be about Seattle going to the Super Bowl. It's not going to be about the departures or the arrivals between both teams. It's going to be about Mike Vrabel and his controversy, and the fact that very few people are speaking about it openly.
God, I hate this. I absolutely think that, I have to say this from a woman's perspective. Why is she the only one? Why was Diana Rossini the only one who suffered a great consequence here?
Consequences, yeah.
I mean, this is not fair. If you're going to shoot the gander, let's shoot the goose as well. It's like, it kills me that and I mean, she did what she needed to do. Unfortunately, but I don't see why Mike Vrabel gets, one day off, day 3 of the draft, to go have counseling. And that's it.
Not taking the heat. He's not taking the heat.
Well, it's so male forward here, I think. And
it's not that case. And I know we want to make it that. You have every right to make it male versus female. What it is job versus job.
Yeah,
Mike Vrabel's job. Mike Vrabel's job is to win football games. Yeah. As long as the Patriots are winning football games, Mike Vrabel can be on the sidelines, and it doesn't matter. I mean, for the most part, it doesn't matter about his personal life. However, Diana Rossini is a journalist, and she trades on her credibility.
True.
And this story cracked her credibility as far as every story that she ever did, does, and everything she does from now on is going to be looked at. Why did she write this? Why did she write this story? What's behind the scenes with this story? With this story? So, as a journalist, she's trading on her credibility, and once that's cracked, a journalistic output cannot put that. They cannot put her front and center.
I was gonna say, people,
they can have her working behind the scenes. They cannot have her front, and they cannot have her on camera. They cannot have her name attached to anything. She could be she can be research. She can go out, do interviews, and bring it back. But somebody else has to be the ghostwriter for that story, because her credibility's shot. Her credibility, it got thrown out the window. Mike Vrabel doesn't have credibility. Mike Vrabel's credibility is going 14-2 and going and making it to a Super Bowl. That's his trade. That's his trade.
I'll say
what he does off the field has no effect on that, because nobody looks at that. They're going to look at what he does on the field.
I'll say if fans hated the Patriots for cheating then, think of how they hate them now for the same thing, just on a more literal sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's that, and even if there was a situation that was improper for their personal lives, I agree with you, Chris. It's unfortunate, no matter what the truth of the situation is.
Yeah.
I just think that Vrabel should have suffered more of the consequences as well, because he's still the head of the team. He's still the face of the Patriots, and it's not fair that it's 2 to tango. that.
Well, it's also where he's the head coach of.
Yeah,
because if he's the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, if he's the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, if he's the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens might be a little bit of a stretch because we actually do, but the head coach is always the face of most organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Not in New England. The face of New England is the owner.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Kraft.
Robert
Kraft has his own issues.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Has his own issues with the exact same thing that we're talking about. He has his own issues, so the head coach having an issue, you're like, okay, well, it's new. You're just saying it's New England.
And what happened to those issues? Same thing. What happened to those issues? Same thing that happened to Mike Vrabel. Swept around under the rug. Under the rug. Minus, and Allie, you bring up a great point. Minus a major consequence.
Yeah. And it's wrong. It's wrong.
But that's the thing. Most people are going to be looking at this, and again, I'm not trying to. I don't want it to seem like I'm piling on Allie, because I think Allie's take is absolutely correct in the way that she feels. And what I said in my opening to this is there are a lot more people that think like Allie, that think like Allie, than think practical. The practical like me. A lot of people are thinking about that, and for it to be opening the game.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be addressed. It has to be addressed, and people are going to judge it based on how they address it. And I mean, if they come out and slam Mike Vrabel, well, people are going to talk about it. If they don't talk about Mike Vrabel at all, people are going to slam it. If they throw Diana Rossini under the bus, people are going to have a fit.
Yeah.
There's no win here. There's no way to win this.
It's a classic catch-22 situation, like Deets talked about earlier in the show during hour one. If they talk about it, then everybody's going to talk about it. If they don't, then they talk about it because everyone's gone radio silent about it.
Why is being hidden? I said before, and I made the joke earlier. You know what should happen? They should have a silent reporter, Joey Greco from Cheaters, just asking every question after question.
How many cameras? Let's play over under before we get to Allie's look at the Bears schedule. Let's play over under. How many cameras will be on Mike Vrabel opening night in Seattle? And it's on a Wednesday night.
Every down.
They'll have a camera shot on Mike Vrabel. And Victor, I hate making this joke, but you know it's the truth. The same way they have a camera on Jerry Jones and his suite every time a game goes on in Dallas.
Every touchdown, we get to see that iguana in the owner's box.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Let's have some fun and look at the Bears schedule before we get the heck out of here for the weekend and week one. And since Allie is here, they go to a division champion in Carolina. Weird for me to say since I lived in Carolina, but they go to Carolina. And then week two, and that's high noon Central Time. Week two, high noon Central Time, Paul Allen and the Vikings pay a visit.
Vikings.
You know, I look at the schedule for the Bears, and I just think, oh, God, please don't let it be Dick Duran's 2002, I think it was. They went 13-3 with all losing teams. And then Dick Duran came back, and I think he went 4-12 the next season. The strength of schedule. This is the most brutal schedule of any NFL team. And there's 550% opponent winning percentage, 7 prime time and standalone games. The only thing worse is if they were playing in Australia.
Oh my gosh.
Triggered a whole bunch of nightmares, Allie, with the name Dick Duran.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
a,
gosh.
Son of
the
nightmares.
late great Dick Duran. The thing is, against this schedule, I mean, it's now predicted by FanDuel and a few other places that they'll win about 9 games this season, and I get that. It's the thing is that not only that, they're having a new offensive coordinator again.
Okay, yes. Here we go again. You let Ben. Oh my gosh.
Go ahead. Caleb Williams has had 3 offensive coordinators in all the years he's been in. Now it's going to be Press Taylor. He's going to be without DJ Moore, our favorite target last season, but one hell of a catch in the Bears versus Packers game.
Oh my God, I called that.
And what's going to happen? I mean, I don't know. I don't know that Logan Jones is the center that you want. I mean, he's a draftee, so I can't tell you.
The biggest thing for the Bears is who's going to be that second pass catcher. Right? Who's going to be that guy that steps up, because it's a bigger question in Chicago because Rome Odunze has not played a full season in his entire career.
Yeah.
So if he's your number one, first off, teams are going to take him. Teams are going to take away Rome Odunze. Who's going to step up and be number 2? But bigger question: what happens if Rome Odunze can't go?
That is who's
your number 1 receiver, because he ain't got one.
Okay. There's this game I want to look at, and it's Christmas Day, high noon Central Time, against the Green Bay Packers in Soldier Field.
Merry Christmas, all!
Merry Christmas indeed. Merry Christmas, Chicago.
Happy birthday!
I mean, it's going to be cold. It's Soldier Field, and anyone who has not experienced Soldier Field in the cold, when we're talking about the month of November on, you're in for
on the lake.
I did a prep bowl at Soldier Field in 2012 when they had the new press boxes done. And my partner wanted to get the crowd, and he said, let's leave the window open. I looked at him and I said, are you kidding?
No.
He said, well, how are we going to get the crowd noise? No problem. I had a microphone with a 100-foot cord. I dropped that microphone out of the booth and closed the window.
Well, we give the NFL a lot of flack for scheduling these games, the holiday games, and all these special games. We give them flack for when they get it wrong. We got to give them their flowers when they get it right. There's no better game for Christmas Day than the oldest rivalry in football, in a place where, what if there's snow? It's going to be awesome. Like snow on Christmas Day, there's a possibility it could be. You've got the Green Bay Packers who love to see the snow. You've got Chicago who loves to see the snow. So it's a perfect scheduling by the NFL.
It is.
They did get this one right on Christmas, and as crazy as this sounds, and yes, I'm going to sound old school, but I'm going to say it the way it needs to be said anyway. The Central Division title could hang in the balance.
It could.
Easily.
The Central Division title. I know it's the NFC North. Don't come at me.
Shine is off the apple for Detroit.
Yep.
The Vikings.
We'll see.
The Vikings will Viking, okay?
Right.
Let me just say it, a popular YouTuber said it. The Vikings will Viking unless They get the power of Paul Allen's voice, and Paul Allen, we love you dearly.
Yes.
And as much as I pick on PA, I love listening to PA call games for the Minnesota Vikings. I used to live in Minnesota, but you couldn't script it any better than to have the Bears and the Packers play on Christmas Day with possibly the Central Division title hanging in the balance.
Yeah, the NFL hopes that game is that both teams are in line for something, and that there's something on the line. Plus, we know how it came down last year. Each game, the Packers came out in the playoff game. The Packers came out. We're beating them. The Bears had that awesome comeback. You look at the game before that; it was decided by a missed field goal. So, it was a great. That is a great scheduling job.
Yeah,
it is.
I tell you right now, if Brandon McManus has the same game he had last year, he's going to get coal in his stocking for Christmas.
Oh my gosh! As long as his name is not Cody Parkey.
We'll see about that, won't we?
And we gotta go. Allison Moran joining us every single Friday. You can mark it down in your book. She'll join us every Friday, no matter what the subject is. We love talking sports with you. We love you, Allie. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate you.
All you.
Thanks, Allie.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you.
Scram. WNBA doubleheader tonight. Fever and Mystics start the night, and then the Toronto Tempo and the Los Angeles Sparks finish the night. Have a great weekend. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move, and always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We hope y'all are too. We love you. So long, everybody. Everybody in the Fanatics feedback zone. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in via our radio stations. We know we ran over today, but we love you and we got everything in. We'll see you Monday. So long, folks.